back. There we go. Welcome back to Regret Gym Live, guys. We have Sandi Glandt here, and she runs a website called The Business and Body. And you can't tell right now because she's carrying her pregnancy so well. She looks beautiful in her face. But if she stood up right now, you'd be able to see that she is. I think you are 2-term, aren't you?
I
Bam!
am.
38 weeks? Holy smokes, that's nuts. About to be a mom. But we're talking pregnancy and exercise today and how it's going against the status quo is going to be a very good thing for you, and about nutrition, what you can do for yourself along the way. Because I bet you there's some things that, Sandi, that you found along the way that just like aren't what you thought were going to be, and that and just like the plan that has changed along the way. But first, can you kind of introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about you, and just go nuts.
Okay, cool. So I guess, oh gosh, where to start? So I do, like, as you mentioned, I run a blog called businessandbody.com. And before I got pregnant, I, was super into healthy eating. And, I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth. I'll say a little bit with like an enunciation there. But I was always enjoyed eating healthy, but I did like, those sweet treats and things like that. So I would kind of find ways to make meals healthier. I would, my family, we grew up, both my parents were working. So it would be, hamburger helper for dinner, or like, just like these really quick meals. Yeah. Like things that weren't the healthiest, but, it got the job done. It got dinner on the table and then out the door to whatever activities we were doing. So for me, like, once I became pregnant, it wasn't about me anymore. I mean, I always cooked healthy for my husband and I, but I was like, wow, this is such a huge responsibility in terms of what I'm like feeding myself and putting in my body, but also for my baby that's not even born yet, for him to establish, the taste buds and what he's going to be pretty much set the precedence for the rest of his life. In terms of what it looks like for healthy eating, nutrition, and even working out during pregnancy, and all the benefits that I'll get into, for why it's so amazing to work out during pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, what what was the what's your view around the whole exercise while pregnant thing? So we just set the precedents up front for people.
So like a little bit of a backstory on me. Again, I was into health and fitness before I got pregnant. But I was so scared to get pregnant because I was like, oh my God, my body, like every woman thinks this. I don't care if they say it out loud or not. Like, you worry about how your body's going to change, what it's going to look like, how you're going to, bounce back. Like, there's no woman out there that can tell me that they don't think about, now they're going to be putting on this excess weight. So for me, when I started to have the conversation about, okay, well, like, now we're married, like, now the next step is, we're going to start a family. I was like a little hesitant. I was like, let's put it off for another 6 months, like I tried to put it off for a little bit. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm ready. And I don't know exactly like what was the switch that went off in my mind, but I think that being able to help women like go through this journey while I'm doing it myself has been so helpful, because you're connecting with each other. Like, as women, we bond on, I feel like, a deeper level than men can do, like, all together. So
I would guess. So from the being center with men, yeah, I would say.
Yeah. So, we just get deep with each other. I mean, I have a group actually on Facebook. It's called Operation Hot Mom Bod. And it's not just about like getting that hot body back, but it's about, inspiring each other and helping each other, and the motivation to stay fit and active during pregnancy, and then after. So it's something that really helped me, being really coming from a place of being scared and all the unknowns that happen with being a first-time mom, to help kind of venture through this chapter.
Yeah. That's great. Like, I love that when people kind of create like a community around something that multiple people have a problem with, and when they get together, they figure out like, like ways to kind of like accomplish what they were going through, or to talk about it and how much that helps each other out. Like, the community of that aspect and how powerful that is just something that's kind of inspiring to me. I really like that. But,
and it's nice too.
Did you?
Oh, go ahead.
What's that?
No, I was saying
No,
that are in the group that are first-time moms, and then also other women that, you know, this is their second, third, maybe fourth baby, and they're giving the new moms, you know, all of the feedback and the little mom hacks and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool for all of us to kind of come together.
Yeah, totally. And I'm like on point with you about like the responsibility thing. I think like people are like, they dump that for the excitement sometimes, like the excitement of having a kid over like the responsibility of having a kid. Like, you are creating a life. Like,
Yeah.
like this most mind-blowing thing imaginable. It's just
It's
amazing.
the biggest thing that you can do, do. It's the most, I think, selfless thing, because you now are putting someone else before you. It's not just you and your partner anymore. So it's something that, like, even that meant, just mentally getting prepared, not, again, mentally, physically, all of it. It's all got to come together. But that's where I think the support system is so huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And we were talking about this on the break, like, but like the position that you take as mom, like the position and the responsibility that you take as mom is just absolutely amazing. Like, that's something that just blows my mind. And like the idea that you're never not going to be mom.
Right.
Like this like your kid can grow up and be like 50 years old, you're still mom. So right. I was telling you on the break. So last night I had my mom works out. She's worked out with me for 10 years, and like we didn't always have like a super tight relationship, but this was something that we just really kind of bonded over. Was like what was like an exercise medium. It was really interesting. But so she's worked out with me for 10 years, and
amazing.
And she's a boss too. So she's super strong, goes really hard, like just crazy, like psycho, insane worker in the gym. She's amazing, but. And everybody's totally inspired by her at the gym, and they should be. It's like, she started out doing 0 chin-ups, and now she's doing like 4 body weight, and she can deadlift like, I think she deadlifted 255 5 times the other day. I mean, she's really pretty amazing. She didn't start lifting until 10 years ago. So, so I'm like running around like just a crazy person trying to set up for the next workout, and I'm changing weights, and I lean in to put a weight back, to put a weight away. And I nail a barbell right on the top of my head here. And I'm like, okay. And I run my hands through it, and I'm like, okay, well, it's just a little bit of blood, no big deal. And all of a sudden, it's just like, and I'm like trying, and my hands are, it was disgusting, right? I could have probably saved the gruesome details. But I go, she's there, and she's like, let me look at it. And she's like, you need stitches. And we make fun of her about the story where she almost cut her finger off, and she opened it up, and we're like, yeah, you need stitches. And she goes, I have people coming in 2 hours, and I don't have time for this. And she just like doesn't go get stitches until later. And I'm sitting there doing this. Like, I got people to train. Like, I can't go. And she's like, I understand. We're going to do class. I'm going to go get a suture kit, and I'll be back. And so she came back about like an hour and 15 minutes later, and we went to the bathroom. She gave me 4 stitches, and that was it.
Oh my gosh, that's hashtag mom life.
Seriously, like, so the mom job just never ends. It's such a big, cool thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But, well, like, tell me about, what have you been doing with exercise? Like, what exercises, how did you attack the exercise game different from before and, like, since you've been pregnant? Like, before you were pregnant and since you've been pregnant.
So before I was pregnant, I was going a lot harder than I am now. I mean, I was lifting a lot heavier weights. I would work with one program for anywhere from 30 to 60 days. Some of them were 90 days. Excuse me. It just depended on the program that I was working with. And it was, maybe 7 different workouts, but it was a lot of cardio, HIIT training, weight training, because I love lifting weights. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And I hate when women say they're scared of weights, because I'm like, it makes you look so sexy. It gives you like nice arms.
Like, that's why shirts.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, so that's one of my favorite exercises and workouts to do. Now being pregnant, so again, I'm 9 months pregnant right now. I'm 38 weeks. And just up until about like 7.5, 8 months pregnant, I still had a lot of energy. I still was really keeping up with not lifting as heavy, because I always tell women, like, you want to listen to your body. Like, you don't want to push yourself to a place where you're like, in your head, you're like, I can do this, but then your body, like, you know, if you can't get out a sentence during your workout, like you're pushing yourself too hard. So I just really listened to my body and let my body tell me what I was going to do that day. So I'd wake up one day and it would be like a dance workout, or I'd wake up and do a Pilates or a yoga if I needed something not as intense. But on like, It's so funny because within the past 3 days, I just got this like big burst of energy, which I don't know where it came from, but I'll take it. So I did a little bit more. I did weightlifting because I was, you know, I had more energy to get through that. But I think, again, for every woman is different. You want to make sure you're cleared by your doctor first and foremost, because my doctor told me, you know, keep up with what you're doing and like stay consistent with the workouts, but don't do anything. What's that?
Good for your doctor. I get all the time where doctors even write me letters, because I put this message out there that like I think women should exercise. They should lift all the way like throughout their pregnancy, and doctors write me letters saying how wrong I am. And it's just like, well, and I'll write back and be like, show me any piece of research at all that's detrimental to the baby. And like it's not out there.
The reverse, where I looked at research that said all the benefits of the mom working out for the baby and for herself during pregnancy.
Yeah. But anyway, keep going with what you were doing with exercise now. I kind of.
So, like I was saying, my doctor cleared me for it. He said, keep doing exactly what you're doing. The only thing that he said was, you know, because I'm not a big spinning fan. Like, I never was a big, like, cycler, like, bike thing. Like, just never really got into it.
Yeah, I don't get it. You're not going anywhere. It's just boring.
Yeah. So that's one thing, you know, he said, like, no physical sports. So no, like, kickboxing, taekwondo, you know, anything where there's, like, punches coming at me. And then and then nothing that I haven't like done before. So I was like, okay, well that's easy because I've done a plethora of workouts that will keep me more than busy for the next 10 months. So again, I'm 38 weeks. I did my workout this morning. What did I do? So I did a pregnancy workout actually, which was weightlifting, a lot of holds because, you know, you have your holds during labor and whatnot. And they say that when you work out, so when the baby is born, they get what's called an APGAR score, and they rate the baby like on their skin, on their eyes. Like it's a chart that the doctor goes down, and they give the baby like a ranking. And they say that moms that work out, their babies have higher APGAR scores. They actually have their IQs are higher than moms, you know, that don't work out. Yeah, so I mean, there's just so many benefits. And then for mom, it's like, for me, when I found out that I was going to be preparing myself for this marathon of labor, right? Whatever that looks like, whether it's 4 hours, 12 hours, like you want to prepare before you go into battle. Like I don't want to go in with like nothing in the tool belt to work with, you know? So for me, I was like, okay, what are the best exercises for me to do while I'm pregnant? So a lot of that is squats. A lot of that are planks, which are really great for your core. Walking towards the end of your pregnancy is awesome when you may not have as much energy, but you still want to get something going. And that also helps the baby get moving too and gets the baby in position. So there's just, I mean, you can look up, you know, there's so many different benefits to both the mom and the baby when you work out during pregnancy. It's just a matter of, if you haven't worked out before your pregnancy, getting yourself into the cycle, into the routine, into that mentality of like what those benefits are going to do for you.
Yeah, I could not. Obviously, like I'm never going to be pregnant. However, like from my perspective, like I've never seen anything that says that a woman shouldn't exercise while pregnant. And just the idea, the logical, just like you made it extremely logical right there. If you didn't have anything in your tool belt walking in, like if you're not in shape walking into this outrageously strenuous activity that you're going to go through, and it might last, a day, 2 days, where you're just in the entire time. If you're not in shape to do that, that puts you at risk, and it puts your baby at even more risk. When the time comes to push, I think you want to be able to,
Right. And it makes pregnancy go by. There's different, tests that they've done and just research out there that says that moms that work out have quicker pregnancies, faster pregnancies as well. So again, everything's subjective, I'm sure, to what the mom's eating, what she did before she got pregnant. For me, I always kept my eating, again, really super healthy and clean. And again, like I said, I have a sweet tooth. I like to indulge in dark chocolate and, things that, it's like every woman I think gets that. But I do it in a smart way. Like I'm not going in and diving into a cookie jar and eating a whole slate of cookies. Like if I'm going to, it's going to be probably a homemade cookie that I made, and I'm going to have 1 or 2 at the most.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It's there's nothing wrong with pizza. Pizza gets this really bad reputation, right? But there's nothing wrong with pizza. You just don't get to eat an entire pizza.
Yeah, it's self-control. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, because they want to know that they can still do these things, but they have to have themselves the self-control and the willpower to know when to stop.
Not much easier said than done, of course, but yeah, that's a huge portion of it. So, by the way, guys, Sandi has a 1-week meal planner. What's the website for that?
Yeah, so it's businessandbody.com.
And if you go on there and you all it is, you put in your email address, and she'll send you a free little deal on it's 1-week meal planner, right? And it's all your favorite meals, right, that you've had while you were pregnant.
So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And again, for me, like I think, and I'll share this. I think a lot of women don't talk about weight, when they're pregnant or at all. But for me, I don't mind sharing because it's part of what I do. So I've gained, I'm at about 19-pound weight gain, fluctuates between 19 and 20 pounds.
That's great.
And they say, a healthy weight gain is between 20 to 35 pounds, again, depending on where you started. But it's not even about okay, how much did I not gain, or how much did I gain it? That you want to be careful with. But you just want to be giving your body all the nutrients it needs to give the baby what it needs. I take my prenatal vitamins. I keep up with my workouts. I eat super, super healthy. And I think when your attention is on the right things, and when you're focused on, okay, this is for my baby, and even afterwards, if a mother's breastfeeding, that's still all is going to the baby. You kind of get a little bit more of a shift and ambition, I think, to want to eat healthier, because now it's not just you. Yeah.
I would think it would increase your priority level on a crazy level, really. But tell the people what got you started into exercise in the first place. What's the backstory on Sandi Glandt exercising? Yeah,
so I've always just enjoyed it. I know some people might be like, she's crazy. What do you mean you enjoy working out?
I'm a little crazy, but I am too. So I understand.
I've always enjoyed it. I think for me, I don't know. For some things in life, I used to do wedding planning. Back, over 4 years ago, I was doing wedding planning in Pennsylvania. And that, as you can imagine, is so demanding. You're working with, most of the brides were great. Some of them to get a little crazy. But for me, it was almost like an anxiety buster. I would go work out and I'd be like, oh my God, I just felt so much better after I was done my workout. So it was a stress release. It was an anxiety, for me, I'd be worrying about, oh my God, these girls are putting the the biggest day of their life in my hands. So, you know, there's some anxiety that comes with that. So having just a high stress job, that probably was kind of what started it. But it wasn't until I moved down to Miami, again, like about 4 years ago, that I really started getting into it, because kind of just the culture down here. I mean, everyone's half naked all the time anyway. You know, you're walking around in bathing suits, and, you know, it's never cold. You never have really a cold day here. So I think just like my awareness for how much I really enjoyed it is what made me dive even more into it. And then once I got engaged, I was like, okay, now I need to go in and do the whole shedding for the wedding thing. So the shedding for the wedding turned into, you know, fit mom to be, you know, expecting moms. And then that really kind of took off, because I found this community of other women that had the same outlook as I did. Like, they wanted to be healthy for themselves and for their babies. So it's kind of like this niche that I found, and I love it because I get to connect with all these women that have the same, you know, outlook and want to live healthy, but also want to indulge, but want to do it in the right way.
Yeah. So what's one of the ways that you indulge that doesn't completely sidetrack your whole scenario?
Yeah. So I make this, it's called like a Chunky Monkey ice cream, and all it is frozen bananas and a little bit of almond milk. And then I have like a protein powder that I put in, that I use. And you know, chocolate or vanilla, whatever. And it's literally like, and then some almond butter or peanut butter, because I couldn't eat that out of the jar if I was, you know, if I myself. But and that's the thing, like, your body knows what to do with real ingredients. Your body doesn't know what to do with, if you turn over the back of an ice cream, you know, carton, and there's all these like hydrogenated oils and all these ingredients you can't even pronounce. Your body stores it as fat, and that's when, you know, we get those things that we don't want on our body.
That's one of my things with like the people who are can just throw down and say like sugar is the worst thing in the world, and it's like, well, I'd rather have like real sugar than having like all this like kind of like additive stuff that
like
to try to make it sweeter.
Fruit. You know, dates. That's another food that's actually really good for pregnancy. So you can find ways and you can find recipes to take out all the crap, literally the crap that's in, you know, packaged foods and all these recipes and meals that we're used to buying maybe from a package. And it might be one extra step, but how much really is that when it comes to like what we're putting into our bodies and to our families?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's like in the long run, it's just not that big of a change, you know, like the difference. And you'll probably like it more because you did make it. Because, like,
exactly.
Like
love it too.
What's that?
Like if you get your kids involved into cooking or baking, like they love it. And then I mean, I know for us, one thing Jared and I love to do together, my husband and I, we love, like, my husband loves to cook. So I say I cook for like health. So I cook like healthy, and my husband cooks for flavor. So he cooks for, you know, I mean, he's an amazing cook. But you know, we both said when we have our son, like, we want him to learn how to cook because it's something I never learned growing up. Again, my parents both worked full-time jobs, and it was just like whatever is the easiest, quickest thing to put on the table. So I think if you can teach your kids like at an early age, it's not hard, it's fun to do. And that's probably the biggest thing, is that it's fun. And then they get to like eat what they made and what they created. Like, you just make an experience for them.
Yeah, and I know a lot of parents think it's like, they think it's dangerous to have a kid, but I would like contest that, like, it's way more dangerous to not teach them how to use a knife, to not teach them how to use the oven, to, you know, than it is to teach them how to do these things and have them use them.
Teach them how to do it the right way.
What's that?
I was saying, teach them how to do it the right way, you know, so they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know that was one thing that I took to way more than I have 3 other siblings, and like that was one thing that my mom and I did a lot, was like like I was always interested in how she was doing this stuff, and so I ended up just like knowing how to make a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it kind of came later because then I could reverse engineer all this other, like this stuff that wasn't so healthy that we made growing up, maybe, and made it a little bit healthier.
I love doing that.
Yeah, it's really a blast. We were talking about that today because I have all these different protein shakes that just kind of made by accident, like just mixed like a cocoa greens with a certain type, like a protein powder or something like that, and it was just like, wow, this is delicious. It's good for you.
Yeah,
and
it's fun to experiment. And
yeah, it's fun to just like, especially when you get one that's good, when you're like, yeah, that's it.
Right, exactly. And then, you know, even when sometimes when I make my shakes, I'll put in a handful of spinach, or I'll do kale or whatever it is, just for that extra boost of nutrients.
Right.
Again, especially not being pregnant, but this is for anybody. This is across the board. Like, why would you not want to give your body, because, you know, when you eat vegetables, when you're putting all of that into your body, it keeps you fuller for longer. So why wouldn't you want to just give your body all of the nutrients, you know, that you can, and then take baby steps. Like, I would say someone that, you know, maybe isn't into health and fitness or nutrition, or doesn't know really a lot about it, like, don't feel like you have to dive in and know everything at once. Like, take one small baby step at a time, and then like keep growing and learn maybe like one new thing a day.
I completely agree. Like, you don't have to, like, I think that holds a lot of people up, that they think they've got to do it all or nothing. And it's like, no, you just need to start. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be a walk around the block and you ate steamed spinach this morning. You know, like, it could be anything. You just need to keep on improving and stepping up your game little by little by little. Exactly.
And maybe, you know, it's like for them, they're used to eating cereal in the morning and then a burger from McDonald's. I mean, I'm not saying McDonald's. I'm not saying, you know, I feel a certain way about that, but wherever. And then dinner is, you know, something also unhealthy. So maybe the first step is, okay, instead of Cheerios in the morning, they're making eggs. They have hard-boiled eggs that they cook up on, you know, a Sunday. And just do a big batch. I mean, if you look in my fridge right now, we buy 4 cartons of eggs every, you know, Saturday or Sunday, whatever day grocery day is. And we just cook them. Yeah, it's so easy. I mean, you make them, you store them in the fridge, and then my husband, if I'm not up, you know, early to make him breakfast, he takes those and he's out the door. And he has something that's healthy that, you know, literally took no time because we already did it.
Right. And it's kind of a feel state too. You're much less like, if you have that food prepped and ready, you're much less likely to order delivery pizza or to order something that probably isn't going to go along with the goals that you have or what.
Right. And if you really have, like, if you really don't have that, you know, the willpower, don't even bring it in the house. Like, my husband always says, like, you know, he doesn't have, like, if we have it in the house, he'll eat it. But for me, if we have something sweet in the house, like, I can have 1 or 2 bites and be done and be good. But for him, he's like, I'll eat the whole thing, you know? So he's like, okay, just like stash it somewhere where I can't see it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, that's Rachel actually, I didn't ask her to. She just started hiding. Rachel is my significant other, but she just started hiding stuff from me because it was like, it could be like, there could be a bag of peanut M&Ms in a cupboard somewhere, and if it's not open, like, I cannot touch it for months. And then once it gets open, it's just like every hour I'm like down there, like, or every 15 minutes, I'm like shoving some in my mouth. I'm like, God, like, what the hell am I doing? And eventually she'll just go and like hide it from me. It's really funny.
Right. I think again, a male, female type of a thing. But for me, it's like I get one little, you know, taste of something and I'm good. But for my husband, he's like, game over. He's like, don't even bring it. Don't even show me because it'll be gone.
Yeah, she's very much like a moderator like that as well. Like, she does a really good job. Just like, oh, I had a few. I've got my taste. I'm good. And I'm just like, ah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Well, where can they follow you? How can they keep up with you?
So what's that?
Is that where are you most active with social media, blog?
So I'm most active on Instagram, and that's just at Sandi Glandt, and it's Sandi with an I. So Sandi Glandt. But then I also am on Facebook. And if any of the moms that are out there are interested in joining that Operation Hot Mom Bod group, all they have to do is message me on either Instagram or Facebook, and I can send them the link to join us. And it's, you know, if you're an expecting mom, if you're a new mom, if you're a mom that just enjoys, you know, getting healthy workouts or recipes and workouts and inspiration and motivation, that's what that group is for. And then on my website at businessandbody.com.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Like you taking time out of your, like you could literally go into labor right now. So this is a big deal. I'm glad that we have
the Friday vibes out there.
What's that? I missed you. Sorry.
No, we're hoping for Friday.
You're hoping for Friday?
Yeah.
All right.
Like he's got a couple more days to cook.
Well, hopefully it happens just like that. Just like bang, Friday. You just wake up and it's like, well, it's time to go.
I know. But, you know, he'll come on his own time, but I'm just like, okay, you know, I've got some little tricks. Like I'm drinking this is like a raspberry leaf tea that's supposed to, you know, be a little trick in helping get your body ready and things to move along. And that's another thing, like in my, in the group, as well as on my blog, I'm posting, you know, because I think your body will be ready to go into labor when it's ready. Like you stand on your head, you do a million things, but your baby's not going to come till it's ready. But I share like what I'm doing, you know, not just like in health and fitness, but what I'm doing also, you know, like pineapples, another little old wives trick to, you know, to get things started. So if any of those other moms are interested, they can check all that out also on my blog.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, like, I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna end the broadcast, but guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Go follow Sandi on all of those spaces, and I think you'll be glad that you did. But thanks, Sandi.
Thanks so much.
And then